Hear the forest sounds as time passes by. If this is a dream, please don't wake me up. I just wanna rest. Hello. Wait. Okay, I was checking if the audio was still on. I can chase the clouds far into the sky. Hear the forest sounds as time passes by. I actually forgot to charge all of my devices. So thankfully they're at like 90, but I prefer for stream that they're at like 100. Because like stream is a power intensive kind of thing. So I like to have it all, but so I think today we're gonna get Alchemic Sharpshooter. And maybe do a little bit of quests, a little bit of Stardust, a little bit of Grandmaster missions. We're gonna try to do everything. So actually, let's start with the Arcana. No. LOL, that's funny. Yeah, Dime, I just looked at it. And today I had a veggie burger. I forgot the brand, but it was some black bean based burger. It was pretty good. I liked it. I'm just worried about jumping to Alchemic Sharpshooter. Let's just do it. Because I don't even have all of the, what is it called? Thing Guard? I don't even have all of them max level, but it's fine. It is what it is. We'll just jump into Alchemic Sharpshooter. Wait. Yeah, okay. Welcome. How may I be of assistance today? You overcame multiple dire threats facing the world, and finally ushered Aaron into an era of at least tentative peace. So I think it's rather fitting you bear the title, the Star of Dawn. In that sense, I have little doubt that you'll do it again. If the world had so much as a need, and even now, you continue to watch over Aaron. Is there anything you wanted to talk about? Good afternoon. I made some cheap lau mein for lunch. Nice! I have never made my own lau mein, but I have made my own udon. I can say promising Arcana talent. We're gonna do it. Alchemic Sharpshooter. It looks like you're more than worthy to walk the path of Alchemic Sharpshooter. Yeah. He wears a clean okay, I'm not gonna read that. That's the same thing. Wait, let me get my phone. We are who we are. Is it forever? Like wings. Enchantix. Oh, Enchantix. I use ramen since I don't have any egg noodle. Fair. I trust you've been well. The reason I called you today is that today will mark the delivery of the very first report from the team posted to Miss detailing the formal investigation into Glen Burna and its related phenomena. Hello, Stabby! And I'm not sure if I actually said hello, Dime, but hello to you too. Although we have a number of mythives and accounts trickle in ever since the events that transpired there is the first in what will be the ongoing series of reports from the kingdom's hand-picked team of notable scholars. Seeing as you played such a pivotal role in dealing with the threat posed by Glen Burna, I thought it was only proper that you have a chance to read the report as well. Come to think of it, the messenger entrusted with delivering the report will no doubt be a familiar face to you. And I think, Dime, you're the first today. Hello, Voodoo! Well, you're the first person to comment. Oh, but Stabby redeemed first, which is kind of funny. I'm told that the scholars initially dispatched at Miss have more, shall we say, enthusiasm for fieldwork than their peers. An excellent quality for those on an expedition, but it also means that they're more easily sidetracked. He's saying that enthusiastic people get sidetracked, basically. And honestly, I can't even say anything, because it's kind of true. It sounds like that's why, as an investigation moves into its second phase, there is some discussion of recalling the current researchers and dispatching a fresh team of scholars. It is so hot today. Like, I just cannot. Like, I'm sweating and I'm in my place. I'm indoors. And hello, Neo. How you doing? There's somebody who's asking for help. Should I help them? Can I help them? Purifying this corrupted. I don't know how to do that, so... Oh, Avalon. I don't know. I think somebody else should help with that. I can do Grandmaster missions. And Voodoo Gaming, you're adorable. It sounds like... Oh, okay. It's great to be dedicated to one's work, but just as important to keep to one's enthusiasm in balance. Dang, he said don't go into a manic state. After all, there's more gain from scholarship than knowledge alone. You do make a good point, Laurire. And hello, Captain, how you doing? Sometimes those bookish types hit me with the weirdest questions. That's one of the reasons I tend to just hang out in the association room. I would like to know, name video game character you would say is a fashion icon. Fashion icon? I know the first thing I thought of was Stella, but she's from a show. Technically, there are games with Winx Club, but Stella has always been, like, the fashion icon to me. Let me think of a game first. Someone who just has me in awe at their looks. No notes. I'm thinking like AFK Journey. I'm trying to think of all the characters. There are some notes that I would have with like all of the characters though, so I can't really like say any of them. Maybe Sylvina. Tassie. Oh, her skin. Oh my gosh. Tassie's skin. That one has me like awestruck. It's very beautiful. They put solo leveling in AFK Journey. Interesting. Oh, AFK Arena. I feel like I saw that because I follow their Twitter, but I don't play Arena, so I didn't focus on it. And I don't watch solo leveling either, so I don't even recognize the characters. Now that you say that, Rowan, I almost never see you leave the room unless you're going out to train. I usually see her moseying around, soaking in the warmth of the fireplace. In fact, I don't know that I've seen her go outside. Sheesh, sorry I interrupted. Don't worry, Rowan. It's nothing you need to apologize for. In any case, it shouldn't be too long now that before our messenger arrives, report in hand. Shall we await his arrival together? I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready as I'll ever be. Alright, let's prepare to greet our guest. Believe me, I know I've sunk pretty low. It's been a while. How was the trip here? Things always seem like they change quickly down in the lowlands. But the more I travel, the more I realize not much changes from week to week. The journey this time proved as uneventful as at last. Hello, Kenzie! Welcome in! You always ask, and I'm almost sorry to keep giving you the same answer. My Apollo... You hear a familiar voice pause for a moment, drawing in a breath before finishing his thought. Jeez. Look toward the doorway. Yes! I love him. I cannot pronounce his name. What was I calling him? I gave him a nickname, right? Should we just call him Lo? I feel like I had a nickname for him, but I low-key forgot what it was. I do love him. I think he's a very pretty character. My only complaint is green eyes. If they would just switch it to blue, like a frosty blue, oof. Yes. I brought the first regular report from the Royal Society representative dispatched to Silamis. Yeah, I'm almost done with Harmonic Saint. Hey, Nexus Sacred Guardian. We'll see about Alchemic Sharpshooter once that's done. Fair. To be honest, I'm kind of behind when it comes to the talents. Actually, I'm very behind when it comes to the talents. Because I only have 3 that are level 50. But I really should be getting all of them level 50, and I'm just now getting Alchemic Sharpshooter. Like, low-key, that's kind of embarrassing, but no, it is what it is. Better late than never, right? And even his music, okay, like, I'm getting, like, oof. I'm feeling, like, pretty good. Each of the researchers presents an analysis based on their field of study, alchemy, geology, and astronomy. On a broader level, the reports cover the changes to Salamis' natural environment and the effects Glen Burna continues to have on Salamis and the surrounding mountains. And while I may not be a scholar myself, you can rest assured that they went over the content of the report with me to ensure I could answer any questions you might have about it. Along with the report, they've also included a request for supplies and materials needed to continue their research. Thanking all involved in advance for their continued support. You know what would be cool? If they gave the Malaysian their own, like, profile picture like this. Because, you know, if every hair has a 2D counterpart, then would it be difficult to, like, basically put it all together? I wonder. And I don't think all of them have a 2D counterpart. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't know. Because I feel like I've always seen, like, a lot of NPCs walking around with, like, the hairs that we have. He finishes reciting the details of his delivery, approaching him. I have to debate if I want to ignore my seething hate for the brows. The brows? Is it because they're different color? I know my sister hates that. She hates when the hair is lighter than the eyebrows. To be honest... Or, like, when the hair is different color from eyebrows. To be honest, I don't... Oh, bows? Oh, bows! Sorry. I was like, if we're talking about fashion, like, I'm in. But you're talking about bows? To be honest, I don't really... I used to like the way that bows worked. Because I just liked being at a range. But then magic was buffed, and I was like, okay, let's do that instead. I hate archers. Ooh. I love these little pictures. To be honest, like, these little pictures do so much for me. And especially, like, Blaned. And, like, some of them look very, very good. And they tell so much with so little. You know what I mean? With this, I believe my responsibility to the scholars in Salamis has been fulfilled. They did request some sort of stamp or seal to confirm the receipt of the report. So let me know if you can take care of that here. Thanks for bringing it all this way. Let me slow down in reading so that I'm not messing up. I'm like my words are kind of like jumbled a little bit. Thanks for bringing it all this way. I'll take care of delivering copies to the royal societies and associations, so needn't worry about that. Oh, and I made sure to get the confirmation stamp in advance, so you don't have to sit around waiting for some magistrate in the castle to get around to it. And as for that suggestion, that'd be a lot of work due to changing the portrait. Yeah, I realize that too, because we all have different ages as well. So it would be like, eh. But it would be cool. I wonder if there's like a way to like, maybe even like simplify it. Like, oh, everybody with long hair has this one. Or like, you know, like general like parts kind of like long hair, bang. You know what I mean? That could be fun. Maybe for an event. Thanks for bringing it all this... Oh, yeah, I already read that. I know it's too much work, but I still like it anyway. I can't help but feel a bit guilty, though. This request was far different from what I originally asked of you, so I appreciate you agreeing to help out. It seems like I came up rather suddenly, so I understand your need. But you needn't thank me. I heard from the research team in Salamis that you went out of your way to avoid troubling me, exhausting your other potential options first. I appreciate your consideration. Oh, and the central focus of this report is the conditions in Salamis, and if you're seeking a broad overview of that, well, I dare say I might be able to frame it more clearly than the scholars. Agreed, your safety and that of the researchers is paramount, so I welcome your observations. Can you give us a few minutes? I'd be annoyed if they used generic promo art just for text boxes. What do you mean? Like this? You don't like these current text boxes? Or I'm fine with these text boxes. In fact, in general, I'm okay with most text boxes. He reaches for the quill and paper on his desk. You should be able to find something else to occupy yourself until their conversation is over. Oh, true, I see what you're saying. A girl can dream though, right? Examine the enkindling lectern. How are you feeling? Is there something out of the ordinary? The green flame that crowns the lectern flickers and... what? Undulates quietly. I've been trained to notice signs and follow well-known paths. Oh, shoot. That went too quick. They do it in MapleStory. Do they now? Interesting. I don't want it to be just like a character that's not my character. I'm trying to think how... did Dungeon Fighter do that? Yeah, Dungeon Fighter does that as well. So they use like the base of whatever class you have. The green flame that crowns the lectern flickers and okay, I already read that. It appears that it appeared to you as though something around here caught his eye as he was walking across the room. You take a closer look at the floor around the Arcana enkindling lectern, but apart from the symbols of the Arcana themselves, it's as clean as you'd expect given Lauride's penchant for tidying up. Yeah. There doesn't seem to be much else of note here, aside from Lauride's meticulous work. Examine his desk. You see copies. Okay, however, there is one thing. The snow of the slab mists are supposed to be a wellspring of abundance that feeds the con- Oh, I knew I wouldn't be able to read that. Normally, if I dig down to the bare earth and let the... I give you... Okay. Huh? Is that so? Slab mists, history and etymology. Glenburna, roots in the old language and origins. The ecology of deer. Perspective of the creation of moongates in locations lacking native moonstone. The climate impact on the frigid northwestern winds. Causes of active geological movement. Alpine trees and other flora. Flora. The report is pretty thick. You probably don't have time to leaf through all of the sections. It seems like Lauride and Lo are wrapping up whatever they are talking about. Go over and check in with them. I can see how that might present a problem. I'll request an investigation of that as well. Understood. Who's your favorite Mabi NPC? I have a few. So I guess definitely Now is at the top. In fact, she was like my ideal blueprint as a kid of how I wanted to be when I was older. So I definitely adore Now. I think she's so sweet, so kind, so gentle. Not Mari, Now. So who Mari got reincarnated as. Yeah, I know that, but like not Mari. Like Now. Because she doesn't act the same. So I like Now, not Mari. Mari is fine, but Now she's the it girl. I also really like Morgan. Nothing this game can say or do will make me hate her. Period. I really like Vivi as well. Blanid as well. Vivi as in the Fishing for Stars event in PC. Tarlac and Crystal, yeah, they're pretty fire. That was one of my pairings. Like, I really loved them together. And hi, Kirby, welcome in. Yeah, I think those are like my favorites. I definitely like other people. Like Piran. Piran is also one of my favorites as well. Actually, in fact, maybe below Now, like right, it would be like Now at the top. She's like ideal. She's beautiful. She's everything. Then Piran, then Autumn, then Vivi, then Now, then wait, no. Vivi, then maybe like Lo, Laurire, Alpin. There's a lot of great characters. Master Tin. Oh yeah, Master Tin. I love how she became a nun. Basically. Understood. The snows of Celeb Mist have been a symbol of abundance. The old folklore says that if Celeb Mist freezes over earlier and deeper than any other region, the next year's harvest will be especially bountiful. Perhaps it's because come springtime, a thick blanket of snow on the mountains will begin to melt and feed the streams and rivers that water the lowlands. Apologies. You didn't have me come here to rattle off old stories. At any rate, the report is delivered and my work here is done. So it's about time to start heading back. If I encounter anything abnormal or otherwise have something to report, I'll come to relay the news as before. What's your favorite Mabi dungeon music? To be honest, I don't actually run the dungeons. If I'm being so for real, I don't run dungeons, so I don't know the music. I do like Avalon music. I like Avalon music a lot. That's pretty much the only dungeon music I know, to be honest. Dun 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 dun. I love the Housing Castle dungeon music. I have no idea what that music is. So it's about time that I start heading back. If I encounter any abnormal or otherwise have something to report, I'll come to relay the news as before. Thank you. Take care on your journey. Can you spare a moment? There's something I wanted to speak with you about. I noticed there's an area right outside the Great Hall seems largely deserted, which suits me just fine. I'll be waiting for you there. He gives you a brief bow as he exits the Arcana Association room. I don't like Lower Lou. Can we give him a new nickname? Can you give him a nickname? The Glen Burna dude. This is a lot of documents. Even by my standard, it appears that some of them will require transcription of additional copies as well. I can already see how this will keep me busy for the next several days. I'll see you later. Level clear, or mission clear. I'm tripping. In the housing area, find the castle, go to the cave in the castle, and then go inside. You meet Incubus. The Incubus King? Or just run regular Incubus? Where is... Oh, I have these that I need to do as well. Oh man, I'm gonna give that up. There's no way I'm doing that. I thought this was him for a second. Where is he? Was he not here? Alchemic Sharpshooter. The thing is right here. Huh? Did I miss him? Over here? That's crazy. Wait, if it's right there, I'm not gonna walk all the way back. I'm gonna teleport via the Arcana Association. Did I just walk past him? I mean, it's highly possible. So he's here somewhere? No. Here? There! Okay, I was like, where is he? Hey, hey, you are a hurricane. Drop your anchors in a storm. Aline and this... Okay, I'm not gonna read that. Actually, that's always there. How have you been? Ah, I just realized. He nods, a warm smile on his lips as he looks at your hair. Your hair is a different color than before, isn't it? I thought the previous color was a good look for you, but this new shade isn't a bad fit either. Well, thanks. I don't remember. Are you talking about my wig? Does everybody, like, I always like it when there's something different. Like, when there's, like, a different dialogue. I like those subtle, like, things. Like how Autumn has, like, when you have the cookies in your inventory, he reacts differently than if you had the cookies. Make Mabi popular. I wish I could. Thank you, Vincent. I apologize for asking you to speak with me privately like this, but I had 2 good reasons for it. If I had to take a stab at a name, I'd say Loisnich. I have no idea. But should we just call him Loy then? Just to go with it? We need, was it Sarah who knows how to pronounce them? I'm trying to think, but I don't think so. I don't remember who it was. He pauses, peering around before he continues with a serious expression on his face. He lowers his voice, speaking in hushed tone. Have you been coerced into working with the Arcana Association? Perhaps they've uncovered some weakness of yours, or bound you to some strange magic. I noticed certain peculiar signals on the floor. I don't even know how to say that. On the floor around the lectern that holds the green flame, one of which bears a suspiciously close resemblance to a sigil I saw in Glenburna. To my eyes, the arrangement of the dots and lines appears nearly identical. I've been up since 8 a.m. for the Nintendo Direct. Hey! How was it? Got you to have... Oh, thank you so much, Vincent. I appreciate you. How was it? I actually don't watch Nintendo Directs anymore. Because personally, I don't know. I get... What's the word? Like... I don't know. Like FOMO? You know, like, I'm not gonna be able to get everything. Thank you so much for the lurk, CO. I appreciate you. So, I don't tend to watch them unless I already have the console. Like, I already know that a lot of the stuff that's going to be released is, like, the Switch 2 stuff, and probably the stuff that's already been in the announcements. So, when Tomodachi Life comes out, then I'll try to get the Switch. Ooh! And tomorrow, one of the giveaways ends. So, we'll see if I earn, or not earn, but if I win. But I think it's something like Lishniok? Lishniok. Who knows? Maybe I should put it in Google. Hold on. 1 second. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to put it in Google and see what they say. How to pronounce Lois. Nope. Lois. C-N-E-A-C-H. S-C-N-E-A-C-H. Okay. Ooh, it's actually here. Hold on. I'll put it next to the screen. Oh shoot, that's my own voice.
Lashknach.
Oh, what the?
Lashknach.
Lashknach. Lashknach.
Lishna?
Lashknach.
Lashknach.
Luxna?
Lashknach.
Luxna?
Lashknach.
Luxna?
Lashknach.
Luxna?
Lashknach. Lashknach.
Luxna? I need to see how it looks more with, like, Spanish spelling, so I can even, like, try. I need to see what's his name in Korean. Let me look it up, because they have a phonetic language, so I might be able to get more of a pronunciation from that. Neash. Mabinogi. Korean. Because they have phonetic, so if the game appeared in Korea... I'm just looking up how to say his name. But we're getting Alchemic Sharpshooter. So this is one of our friends that we met during Glenburna. So he was suspicious of us originally, but he is one of the holders of the Arcana. So he's here for the Arcana Association missions as well. It's a mouthful. Leave it. Use their other languages no one can pronounce. Hang on. Well, I mean, he's Irish, so... even how it's spelled in Korean might not be how it's actually pronounced. Sadly, I don't think the wiki is uploaded enough. Because I feel like the wiki, if it was any other wiki, it would have shown us how it's pronounced and spelled in every language. But the Mabi wiki is kind of lacking. We don't have enough Korean resources on there. Oops. I noticed that okay. If you're caught up in some perilous situation, you can confide in me. Say the word and I'll aid you in whatever way I can, no matter the danger. Oh, he's so sweet. You see why I like these characters? Like, when they're so sweet, I can't help but like them. Like, he's like, I don't even know what's going on, but I'll protect you. Like, I'll help you. As if he could help me. He nods, his face set with determination. Say you're okay, ask for his help. I'm gonna say I'm okay. There's no need to worry him. What is his option? Ask for his help? No. I'm gonna say I'm okay. Yeah, the wiki is missing a lot of finer details. Exactly. And you know the Piran article? I was the one who added stuff to it. Because Piran, and I realized that some people actually get their work deleted, but mine is still up, okay? Mine is still up because they don't check that boy's page at all. But yeah, Yuri sure looks snake? I have no idea. The Arcana Association isn't a dangerous place and has not, in fact, seized upon any weakness of yours, real or imagined, aside from perhaps your willingness to take on almost any request. Then you're alright? Are you sure? Well, you seem relaxed enough, and I'm not picking up on any sort of code in your blinking or toe tapping, so I guess you're really okay. I'm just relieved that you're not in any distress. I know you might not often find yourself in such situations, but I just can't shake off my weariness. Of course, the greatest troubles are those we never could have anticipated. I love Piran. I will always love Piran. Yeah, never mind. Let me focus. Let me focus as a matter of hand. Perhaps I was more concerned because you're the only one He's trying to be my favorite because he's really like coming on strong and I love it. I love it. And the only one I know I can fully rely on. Of course, if something was distressing enough to make you worry, I doubt my concern would matter one way or another. Well, that's one matter settled. At least now that I know you're alright, there's something I'd like to ask your help with. I feel guilty having to ask you for your help as often as I have, but this is a matter I feel I cannot handle on my own, and you're the only person I can go to for help. Say the word, man. I'm there. Do you have time? It's nothing overtly urgent. This is more of a personal matter. Though it's been bothering me like... What? It's been bothering me like wet slush inside my boots. Still, if you have other things to do, you can safely bump it down your list of priorities. Whenever you're free, just come and find me. I'll be waiting around here. He's really tall. Goodness gracious. I guess they're all tall. Wait, hold on. Hold on, let me hold something so I'm not moving around. I'm like at his wrist. Okay. Let me actually check the size comparison with Piran. I feel like Piran is shorter, right? Nope. Yeah, he looks much shorter. Wait. I need him to put his hands down. Put your hand down, sir. So it's like right at his waist. Because of like, but that's a high waist. To be honest, like that's a high waist. Anyway, let's focus. I was about to go to Magmel. There's no reason to go to Magmel. I spend a lot of time in Magmel just chilling because there's a lot of stuff over there. It's pretty good actually. Because there's like the shop, you have the Finny Gem stuff. Can I move indoors? Come on now. I'm a little sad that I'm still upset that they moved the location of the dungeon guide for this one. For Fefiata. It would be faster to use the Arcana travel. I was thinking, would it be faster to go to the Tara? But it's actually faster here instead of the Tara Moongate. I suppose this means you don't have any other pressing matters at hand. So what do you say? Are you back in the band? Well then, I suppose I can get right into it. So recently, I've been experiencing a strange phenomenon. This will likely sound as odd to hear as it does to describe, but how do I phrase it? I've been gaining knowledge that isn't my own. It keeps flowing into my mind like a font that wells up without cease. Ideas I've never pondered. Questions I've never grappled with. It began to affect my own thoughts and behaviors, and I'm afraid that if it goes on, I'll be imparting my judgments or even values on it. It will be impacting my judgments or my values. From birth, I've always known in the way of Mountain Keeper. The knowledge I can call my own is what has been passed down to me. The legends and tales, the wood lore, and how to venerate the god who safeguards us. I suspect the same would be true of all the Mountain Keepers I've known. We're not the sort to go around poking our noses into the divine. If anything, I'd say we bow our head and follow dutifully. Even if the path leads into lightless abyss, we would likely just raise our lanterns and forge ahead. Of course, I did aid your druid friend in the ritual to veil the sight of being that may well be a deity without a second thought. When I look back on it now, I can hardly believe I did that. It's like trying to imagine Stillamis without any snow. Do you think I can still claim to be that person? That I'm still we said Loy, right? That would be his nickname? You know. He gazes down. Oh, look at the timer. Easy distress upon us. When did this start happening? Remain silent? I'm gonna ask. That's savage. Why would I not say anything? Of course I'm gonna help him. You asked him when he first started experiencing this strange phenomenon. That I do remember clearly. At least it's not one of the memories from the times that were sealed away from me. First, would you take this thing? He reaches out, presenting you a vaguely spherical object. It looks passingly like some sort of crystal ball, reflecting the light that shifts and dances within the layered center, except the item. As an accomplished alchemist yourself, I figured that you'd have a far better idea of what this thing is than I. I don't know what to call it, and don't particularly care, but it was the first thing I ever transmuted. If anything, you can tell from the abstract look that it's made from broken down and reconstituted materials. I decided I tried storing the knowledge and memories that aren't mine by materializing them like this. My hope is that this will help to remind me, as many times as I need, that what's contained within isn't from my own life. He should have done it the opposite way. He should have kept the memories that are actually his in the orbs. So that if it happened, he would know. Don't worry, I've confirmed several times that viewing the memories like this causes no harm. But I'm not trying to show you like this because I'm too lazy to explain it myself. LOL. It's just that, well, what I experienced was so strange that I felt that I'd have an easier time understanding if you saw for yourself what I'd witnessed. Hi Anubis. Just hold it in your hand and focus on the light, and you can see it twinkling in the core. After a moment or two, you should see the memory play out before you, as though you were there. I'm doing amazing. How are you? Having explained it, he closes His eyes, that misshapen, he eyes a misshapen sphere, looking conflicted. A memory he doesn't claim is his own. I'm reading all of this wrong. Seen when he was first entered in Glenburna? What he said seems true. You're unlikely to understand until you see it for yourself. Use the object to do so when you feel ready. I do hope we kind of get some more Glenburna lore. Like, who is that goddess? What's going on? Okay, so Orbis over here. Does it have this? The product of his attempt at transmutation. More, whatever as that says, enough to defy easy description. It's as cold as ice to the touch, but you can detect a faint burning smell wafting from it. He claims this will allow you to witness scenes from his memories. Song request? No, I just do the game music. You see within the transmuted object a shining mix of white, blue, and dull okay. Do you hear the game? I'm wondering. It seems like you do. Focus. How much do you bench press? None. As he instructed, you take the transmuted object in your hand, holding it up to focus on the gleaming light within. Your vision goes dark, and you begin to notice the smell of something burning. What's this memory? Who is this? I don't think this is the result I was supposed to get. How goes the experiment? Any headway? Oh, Master Doran. So this is a memory of his. So he just has it? This is supposedly not his memory. I wonder if he was really here, or if, like, the memories flowing into him are making it, like, making him believe. Are you going to level up the Arcanas? Eventually I will. So I've been doing, I've been doing Harmonic Saint, but then I switched over to Sacred Guard, and then now I'm doing Alchemic Sharpshooter. I still don't have everything level 50. I only have 350 so far. I hope you fared better with your work than I with mine. I'm sorry to say there has been no sign of a breakthrough I had hoped for. And have you realized what it is you're lacking? If you take my advice for what it's worth, rushing seldom does us any favors. The more you try to hurry a result, the more times you'll have to repeat the same experiment. There is nothing we cannot explain within alchemy's model of natural forces, provided we have the time and patience to comprehend what we observe. Consider, for instance, whether you require additional reagents beyond simply alchemic crystals. After all, the study of alchemy is driven by mankind's desire to understand the natural world. And so, if it follows what we would avail ourselves of what nature provides. I read that and I don't know what she's saying. You said you seek to artificially create snow, did you not? What in the world are you doing stooped over an oven? You should head north, surround yourself with snow, and try to more deeply understand its essence. I fear you struck at the heart of it. I've been so focused on my research that I've barely ventured out of Daitan lately, perhaps to my detriment. At this rate, I may lose sight of the purpose behind my research. Would it be alright if I paid a visit to my hometown? It's been some time since I've been back. Of course, you have my permission, my encouragement even, to go as far as the ends of the world if it helps you discover the truth you seek. Thank you, Master Durin. I shouldn't be away long. As ever, it's my honor to be your 20th pupil. When I began the study, I didn't realize uncovering the origins of winter and how to replicate it would prove so elusive. If we could wrest control of cold itself, we could best the Winter Queen at her own game. Then we would finally be free. You think so too, don't you? So that's not really Loy. He's just watching it, and this entity is like his... Like somebody's projecting themselves into his memory with his body. Wait. What an absurd thing. Take this. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. It'll be your only help now. And please, look after him. I hurt my finger, and I don't really understand how. So I'm gonna be careful with it. It just hurts. I wonder if it's like, do you know those like paper cuts that happen? I wonder if a paper cut happened right at the tip of my finger, hidden by my nail. As you return the transmuted object to Loy, he takes it from you and quickly stuffs it into a small bag. You return the object to him. I never would have imagined myself taking up study of alchemy, but even so, I don't think it's wholly outside what I could envision myself doing. But did you hear him going on about his research into artificially replicating winter itself? The winter! Aren't there supposed to be limits to brazen stupidity? Goodness! Mabi has had a lot of Full Metal Alchemist vibes sometimes. Oh, for sure. But I'm pretty sure... Hey, Google. I don't know, it's not that important. And to undertake such unpardonable atrocities with my body, totally unforgivable. If that's not the picture of stark, raving madness, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You're stark, raving mad. Oh yeah? Just ask your mother. That's all in the past. Listen to me, little boy. Nice guys finish last. Oh, there's some Glen Burna lore here. I don't know what Glen Burna is. So actually, Loy's whole thing is Glen Burna. When Glen Burna was released, it's essentially, and this is just simplifying it, it's basically another tech. So Glen Burna is, you know where Tarlock is in that wintry area? If you turn around in that area, it's like a broken rift. And then so Loy and other mountain keepers are all in Glen Burna, but they didn't really explain anything about it. You don't know where Tarlock is? That's fine then. So it's a generation 1 to 3 thing. So after Tarlock was cursed to be a bear, he started hanging out in that area. But recently they added a second spot in that area, so now you can walk forward and meet Tarlock as a bear, or you can turn and then Glen Burna's there. So Glen Burna is another tech. It's like a dungeon. And then it's actually a kind of cool dungeon. So basically, if 2 people walk into this dungeon, they're sent on 2 different routes. So then you have to beat both of them separately. So there's 2 different. So everybody in the group, so like let's say there's 8 people in the group. 4 will go to one half, and then 4 will go to the other half. And then they have to like fight together, kind of. So they go like in tandem. It's kind of cool. But that makes it so it's very difficult to like leech. Because then you can't just get carried. If your carry is in a different team than you, then you're cooked. You don't have a choice, it's random. And to undertake such okay. I'm sorry, it's just so beyond absurd. I'm having a hard time reining in my feelings. They really made Lloyd cute. Like, he wasn't this cute before. I love it. I love the change. I like that he's, like, more soft. Because when we met Lloyd originally, he was extremely wary of us. 2 light parties. Light parties are 4 players. Yeah, basically. Like, he was extremely wary. He didn't want to talk to us. Because, like, Mountain Keeper people, like, his people are, like, special. Like, they're... It's like nomadic people, you know, but they're not nomads, but you know how like they're completely separate? It's like that too. I prefer continuing this conversation in a more comfortable environment, so if it's alright with you, let's reconvene in Salamis. I've already prepared you with enough embarrassing outbursts for one day. And besides, there's something there I want to show you, not in agreement. Wait! Actually, since I haven't had the chance to make a mobile for myself, could I join you with yours? I don't actually have it. Do I have it? I feel like something happened to it. Oh, I do have it. I do have it. The Winter Forest mobile. It was the hourglass. Was it the hourglass that I lost? Yeah, it was the hourglass. I wonder if I didn't lose it and they took it away from me, because now I can't even enter Famas. And hello, Snuggy! I'm still confused as to what this is. It has to do with shooting alchemy. I know too! I don't really get it, to be honest. But we're gonna figure it out, I guess. So he's like the... I don't know. We'll figure it out. Actually, since I've hadn't had a chance to make a mobile for myself, could I join you when you use yours? The distance from here to Salamis is a little too much to travel on short notice, even for me. To be honest, yeah, we're in Terra right now. There's no way you're gonna walk to Titan. Or, I mean, to Tirconil. I haven't been able to find the most important material I need to begin making my own mobile, so I hope you'll indulge me. As you pull out the Winter Forest mobile, he approaches you. Use the mobile. You always have the best voice. Well, thank you, Ozzy. I appreciate it. I'm kind of jumbling up my words. Is that an otter? What is this? Oh, it's a dog! Hi, Dad! Very cute, as usual. Look at all these people here. So yeah, this is Glenburna. This is the area. But if you wanted to, like, here is where... Am I going the right way? Yeah. So if you continue going up here, this is where you meet Tarlock. One of my artist friends makes me a new piece of art, and I'm so excited. Hey, congrats! What's their info? So over here, actually, this is... You go over here. So this part isn't unlocked at all. I will say it's making me excited for the 2 upcoming Arcana. Yeah? Which one is it? It's the Gunslinger one, right? No, that's what we just got, right? What is it? What's the new Arcana? I forgot. So, what's his face? Tarlock is right over here. And no, I didn't finish his quest, so he is still here. Tarlock! But yeah, it's nighttime, so he isn't a bear right now. Because he's only a bear in the daytime. Tarlock! Which is so funny, because he's also still at... So young Tarlock is over in Titan. Because I completed Saga. The young Tarlock is still over there. But I didn't complete the Tarlock's request. So I have 2 different Tarlocks in my game. It's kind of funny. Salamis. Pretty good, what about you? You're talking to Kirby. Kirby, 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 that's the name you should know. Kirby, 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 he's the star of the show. He's got more than you think. He's got maximum pink. Kirby, Kirby, Kirby's the one. Let's go ahead and talk to Loy over here. And let me actually move this map. It's a little bit too to that side, and then I'll hide it. Okay. Actually, now that I look around, I doubt it'll be much more placid here than in the castle. There's seldom been a quiet day since the investigation began. Yoo-hoo! Mr. Mountain Keeper! I'm not letting you slip away today. As you look around to see who called out, you see a woman who wears the garb of a royal alchemist, waving at Loy, her eyes twinkling. He's not happy. No. He's cute, like, I guess because he's a new NPC, he has a lot more faces. Oh. Come on, what happened to a team spirit? I really, really, really need your knowledge to help fill today's report with accurate, in-depth insights. But you're always brushing me off with that line about not having enough social energy or whatever. He's so real for that. I love Loy. Battle Alchemy and Apocryphy, and then... Oh, yeah, I remember that. And then Dual Gun and Construct Alchemy. That's what it was. I remember Dual Gun was in there somewhere. I was like, what's going on with that? It's interesting, especially Apocryphy, because that's a life skill. So this is going to be like our first life skill and battle skill, so I'm very interested to see how that goes. Was he the newest Arcana before the 2 current ones? Yes. So in order, I think it's exactly this order now that I'm looking at it. I think it's this. No, it isn't. So originally it was Elemental Knight and Harmonic Saint. Then it was Dark Diviner and Alchemic Sharpshooter. Then it was Explosive Vanguard and Sacred Guard. But social energy is so real. Like the spoon thing. How could you possibly resist the glorious siren song of this prestigious opportunity to contribute to the evolution of the alchemical sciences? That's what my report is all about, really. First of all, I never agreed to collaborate on that report with you. And secondly, glory and prestige are the last things I'm interested in. He sighs quietly, lowering his voice to a barely above a whisper. Do you think you could speak with her for me? Maybe explain things so she'll understand? I don't think I can get closer without being drawn into a lengthy discussion. I'd just as soon avoid her for now. But I can't show you what I spoke of earlier without passing through the camp. You'll help me out of this jam, won't you? Of course! I will! I will! Imagine if he just brought me to talk to them. Like, that he didn't have anything to show, he just wanted me to talk to them. She's a cool design, though. I like her design and her hair and everything. So, if we assume that the energy contained in elemental crystals is also subject to the law of conservation of mana, from there, it's sensible to... Oh, you're the famous Phalation, aren't you? I heard from the chief alchemist that you personally put in a good word for Cinead to help Lois secure a place on the team investigating Villa Miss. Where did you find someone so knowledgeable about alchemy and so good at gathering samples? In the world of alchemy, someone like him is as precious as a flawless Arat crystal. Do you think you could persuade him to collaborate with me? Collaborate on what? Oh, you're asking what I want to persuade him about. You see, I'm actually a key contributor to an important joint report. The working title is, Can Unsatisfactory Laboratory Conditions Be Offset Through the Use of Elemental Crystals? We're working on coming up with a snappier title. Of course. But as an accomplished alchemist yourself, surely you must realize the exciting possibilities of this research. Yeah, apocryphy is a life skill, so I'm attached to it. Is the life skill I'm attached to. So I can't wait. Oh, nice! You know what I need to do? And seeing it, I kind of want to read but watch the Apocryphy Diaries. My sister and I have been talking about it, and we're kind of like gonna try to make up a time together to watch it, so I'm kind of interested. But it's kind of hard because we have drastically different schedules. If you can solve this conundrum, alchemists will be able to conduct complex experiments with sensitive tolerances even in the harshest environments. The days of late reports and missed deadlines due to unfavorable weather or temperature will be a thing of the past. He has demonstrated an impressive understanding of the elements and the complexities of their interactions, so I'm confident he'd be an excellent contributor to this study. In fact, I can think of no practitioner. Let me get some water really quick. Hopefully I have... Oh, she looks kind of cute. Okay. I don't really like the bangs too much, but I do like the side profile, like the side look. Who was over here? I felt like there was a dude over here. Oh, he was over there. He looks funny. Again, with the perm hair. It's kind of giving Romeo. I can think of no practitioner of the medical arts better suited to venturing out into the hinterlands to field test our theories. Also, did you have any sweets today? Today? Yes, I had a cupcake! How did you know? I had it was like a mint chocolate chip cupcake. And I had never seen a mint chocolate chip cupcake before. And I don't really like it. It's okay. So the icing, I think for me, I think of mint chocolate chip as like ice cream flavor or like a cream flavor. So it felt strange to have like a cake texture with mint chocolate chip. But I do love mint chocolate chip. And it just was kind of weird in that moment. And with that texture. And even the temperature. And then, but it was good. But I'm not sure if I like it. I don't know. I think I need to have more. And hello, Jerry May. And then it was really, so the icing was really, 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 really mint chocolate chip. Like, it was so mint. And then the cake part was kind of, like, it was mint chocolate chip, but a little bit. I think I would have preferred it to be just regular chocolate for the cake part, and then the mint chocolate chip for the icing. I think that would have been great. But still, it was good. Dry heaving. I only mentioned it because the sweets could help you focus a bit. LOL! That's crazy. No, I actually think that the sweets kind of mess me up a little bit. Because it makes me think faster. So then my mouth can't necessarily keep up with the speed of my speaking. And my stream is going amazing. How are you? But let me drink some water. Water. That way I'm not messing up my vocal cords. Can it be that it's the first you've heard of this? Were you not even aware of it when you sought to secure his services for the Sela expedition? Oh my. Where should I even begin explaining then? I suppose it may be best to start from the beginning. At first, he seemed like an ordinary mountain guide. You'd have to agree. He doesn't have the mien of someone who studies alchemy. Aside from leading us through the mountains and helping keep us oriented on the trek, he's always been rather taciturn. I never would have guessed him the alchemaic sort. You're a silly guy sometimes. Honestly, mood, Kirby. It reminds me of that one comedian who's like, are you a goofy guy? And he has like an auto-tune microphone. He's funny. And I've been streaming since November 10th, 2022. He has no lust for knowledge. Nothing even remotely like greed drives him. That's an astounding virtue to find among those who pursue the study of alchemy. Beyond that, he didn't possess the penchant for analysis one typically sees among alchemists, or even the fervent spirit that has led to many heated scholastic debate. All told, there was no outward indication he was even aware of the study of alchemy. Mountain keepers don't seem like the sort who would have much interest in alchemy inquiries or debates, you know? I think this person wants me to join their party, but I'm not here for Glenburna. I'm here for the Alchemic Sharpshooter. And my favorite game is probably Mabi. It does change over the seasons. But how wrong my initial assessment proved. A few days ago, he hesitantly approached me, saying he had a few questions on alchemy he'd like to run by me. There were no initial queries. His questions were of a level few save a royal alchemist could answer. In particular, he demonstrated a high nuanced level of understanding regarding the elements, their individual properties, balance, influence on one another, and more. Each answer I gave invited further questions, seeking greater clarification. Some lines of inquiry delved so deep, even I eventually found myself unable to furnish him with proper answers. This person talks so crazy. Who else had this kind of... I feel like, who is that, maybe if I see his picture, I'll remember his name. This guy. He's Llewellyn, right? And thank you. I made her myself. This guy, Lloyd. This guy's moving around. It's distracting. I think he also talks in a very flowery way. So it's like confused. I need to get this man off my screen because he's moving around too much. That's when I thought to ask you to act as an intermediary in this matter. Would you be willing to help me persuade him? No. Persuade the royal alchemist. You can't just force somebody to do what you want just because you want it. You know what I mean? For now, out of necessity, you do your best to persuade the royal alchemist to wait a while before trying to ask for his help. I didn't realize he might see it as imposition. Well, I owe you a great deal for introducing me to such a talented individual. So, very well. You tell Loy he's off the hook for now. I'll be writing a note to ask him again later, though. For now, at least I've got enough material to discuss the other scholars. And yes, I made her myself, so she is custom. I made it. The royal alchemist lowers her head and resumes her conversations with the nearby researchers. Who has been standing just close enough to follow the entire conversation finally stirs, approaching you cautiously. He likely wishes to continue the discussion you were having earlier. Yeah, I do have more models. In fact, over on Twitch, you can actually redeem my other models. So I have like 4 models, something like that are 3D, and then one that is 2D. And then I also have like some that are pre-made, that I just like found. But I have a few models that were either gifts or I made myself. Or like the one that Astraria Studios gave me. Aline and... Okay, I'm not going to read that. I can't even figure out how to pronounce that. I was about to read that, but then I realized that I can't even pronounce that word. It was my mistake to ask someone with such an unquenchable curiosity to verify the accuracy of this knowledge I've come into. It was the first time I'd ever really run up against another person's overbearing inquisitiveness. Or perhaps I had before, but I just don't remember. My memories of the past are rather spotty, unfortunately, so it's hard to say. Although it upsets me to see the man who looks like me using alchemy for such deplorable purpose, I'm not against alchemy itself. On the contrary, I think alchemy is a valuable science that has helped humans prosper. There are 3 other problems I have with this situation. My first issue is that the one who's trying to do these things is, well, he's me. Or someone who looks virtually identical to me. Whoever he may be, he obviously knows what he's doing and fully grasps the natural order he would make a mockery of. It's kind of strange that he automatically dislikes this. I mean, not really. Actually, I would dislike him too, never mind. Because somebody who takes over somebody else's body or uses their image, basically they're using Loy's image to like mess with him, which is not cool, or at least tell him something with his own image. I don't like it. You know, like when the other like goddesses talk to you, they use their own image. So it's like more of mental something. There's a world of difference between... Oh! Welcome over on Twitch, Kirby. There's a world of difference between acting without understanding the ramifications and acting with willful intent. Depending on the intention with which an action is undertaken, the results can vary substantially. My second issue involves she who dwells within the fissure. Even after having something precious to her taken, she's still there, doing who knows what. The oddly dressed druid friend of yours explained how to move about in there without attracting her notice, and that's what I've been doing, but... He's referring to Merlin. It seems a bit too quiet, as though her next plan has already been set in motion. At least the fissure is still sealed, thanks to him. Still, it's unnerving to think that similar circumstances befell the other me I saw in that vision. Knowing that, I feel like it's all the more important to remain vigilant, to ensure that never happens. And lastly, if the other me really is another version of me, then surely we must share many similar experiences, and presuming that so winter's winds and snows would surely have an ever-presented element in his life. No, I don't think Loy should, like, confuse himself. Because, no, it is not Loy. The other person's memories, he's tripping you up. Loy, I don't even know how to say it, but, like, he's tripping you up. He's, like, actively tripping you up. He's using your name too. Like, I was gonna say, like, oh, maybe they're twins or something. Or from the other world, but the other world is destroyed, basically. Tir na Nog, the other world, Bangor, that world is destroyed. So this image isn't Tir na Nog. It's Titan in this world. And then when he introduced himself, it was with Loi's name and with Loi's image. Exactly, down to the hair. You know, twins don't copy everything about each other, but that Loi did. Even his complex hair, because he's got a little braid right here. Oh, also can't wait for the quick Arcana swap. Oh, I know, that will make things so much easier. It'll be nice to use my preferred Arcana when I need to bring some pain. Exactly. So just being able to switch before a dungeon will be so helpful. That way I can, like, rebirth and then use the levels for the talent, the Arcana I'm trying to do, and then use the Harmonic Saint whenever I'm trying to do a dungeon. I think that would be a nice switch. Having lived those experiences, would he truly go as far as to usurp winter itself? Doubt and distrust, but don't seek for answers. To look closely is to invite a paradox. And in such contradictions lie the one path to fade into oblivion forever. He ponders for a long moment before he slowly resumes speaking. It really is difficult to express things I feel and know at the instinctual level in words. If you were in my shoes, do you think you would have reacted as I did, letting it go unchecked? Or would your heart harbor doubts that would move you to action, as it seems my counterpart did? If you have any lingering questions, I'll try to explain as best as I can with his knowledge. Nah, man, he's messing with him. Letting it go unchecked? What is going on here? So we know that the person who is in Glenburna is actively doing terrible things. This version of Loi is more like lingering in the shadows. The other Loi is like, we need to fix it. So what kind of personality do I have? Would I go in to fix it? Would I do something? Or would I try to linger in the shadows and gain more information? I feel like lingering in the shadows is not really the best situation here, because just because this other entity we know is evil. So we can't just not do something, you know what I mean? Like, we have to do something. And then Loi, well, no, because Loi does stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just do nothing. He does his job. To be honest, I'm gonna answer in a way that I think would make Loi happy. You know what? Because it's not that serious. It's not that serious. This is a game. This is a game, and is no title associated. There's no timer. And I would prefer that Loi be comforted in this moment, because he's like losing sight of himself. So I would say I would let it go. Even though I think I would have my doubts, I think I would say this. No, I wouldn't. No, I can't. I can't. I know it's just a game, but it's serious to me. Because the fact of the matter is, I would do something. Like, I don't know what I would do, but I would do something. Yeah. I'm gonna say I would have my doubts. Let it go. Let it go. Lord, oh no! His face! No! But I had to answer, honestly. I had to. If you wish, I'll do my best to clear things up. However, I think it's easiest to explain it from my perspective rather than his. since what happened to him doesn't match my own experiences. I'm sorry, Loy! Ah! It hurts so much. Ah! I should have said the other one. I should have said let it go. I messed up. It reminds me of this one time when I was playing Lost Magic. There was a moment where your friend who has been with you throughout the entire journey of the game is actually kidnapped. And then Lost Magic was one of those choice games. So if you make a choice, it pushes... So if you, like, for example, if you decide to kill someone, it pushes you in the wrong path. And if you decide to save someone, then it pushes you on the right path, like good and evil. And then so in the middle of the game, there was a scene where your best friend is kidnapped. And then you have the option, because it's basically like, do you save one person or do you save the world? And I sat here for hours. I was literally thinking, like, this is important. Like, this is important. What do I do? And I've always been, like, on the side of good, like, all the time. So I was on the light path for several, like, every single option they gave me before, I was on the good side. And then, so it was very important to me. And then when she was kidnapped, and then they asked, do you save one person or do you save the world? I actually thought about it, and in the end, I chose save the world. Because saving, like, 100 people is, like, I felt was more important at the time than saving one. You know, like, 1 over 100, you know what I mean? And immediately, I was shot into the bad path. So I've been traumatized. I was like, what? And then the very next scene was, like, my character killing all these people. And I was just like, no, this is not me. I was so distraught. I was so distraught because the entire game I was doing good choices that would lead me to the side of good. And then one wrong choice shot me into the path of evil. I was so shocked. He frowns, casting a sidelong glance towards the breach that leads to Glenburna. At the beckoning of the Lord of Winter, my soul was spirited into Glenburna, but thanks to you, I managed to avoid becoming a permanent resident. However, defying the fate drew her attention to me all the more. When I finally came to, your druid friend and I broke the ages-old covenant that he who holds the sheaves from the last harvest will serve the Lord of Winter. Can you understand how she would feel? It's like a crack forming in the edification of her divine authority as one who holds sway over the season's forces. To maintain her hold, she would have re-established her authority. How would she do that? Does she reassert what has been flaunted? Which being does she know who holds the greatest fear and reverence for her power and dignity? I fear the winter. I'm intimately well acquainted with its dangers, with the ways it deems to be treated with respect. That's how I was raised in childhood, and how I feel even now. Winter's white fields are a tomb without ifat, like a mire whose snow hides every peril, the ice reaching up like hands to grab your feet and drag you down. In a land of such lifeless silence, nothing can be born. Yo, he got too poetic for me. Sir, what are you saying? So what happens if the moment I somehow replicate this winter, the Mighty One simply takes it for her own, filling her empty reverie with what I made? How would such a winter spill out of this world? Would it ultimately matter who made it? Or would the result be the same? Okay, so I see why he was hanging in the shadows. Because if he wanted to, like... Yeah, I can see why he's, like, distraught. To be honest, I can see it. Because he's basically like, we can't fight fire with fire. Because that fire might add to the first fire. That's basically what he's saying. But he's like, if we don't do anything, then it will be even worse, basically. Not the Mighty One. I meant the Lord of Winter, the Winter Queen, as she's sometimes known. So when do I get to shoot things with alchemy? Exactly. You know, there's a number of other Mountain Keepers far better at putting ideas into words than I am. I wish they were here to explain this in a way that's easier to understand. Sorry if I wasn't crystal clear. That's about as good as an explanation as I can give. That's fine. Look how far off course I veered into this talk of alchemy. Anyway, The point I was getting at is that alchemy is a field of study that guides ordinary people towards understanding the essence that underlies the workings of the world. I'm simply borrowing a bit of that power. I have need of it. I have to find the firewood that belongs to all the missing mountain keepers. I know that this might seem as a threadbare excuse. What? Threadbare excuse? But that hope is all I have to hold on to, thin as it may be. I use this knowledge of alchemy to veil myself from the Lord of Winter's gaze when I entered the breach to conduct my own reconnaissance with Glenburna. I know it's not quite right, but even so, when I think of those I knew trapped forever within the fissure. So basically what he's talking about is because in Glenburna, there's firewood, okay? So, but the firewood is forever winter in Glenburna. And every mountain keeper, when they enter the fissure, basically when the deers come by, okay, I don't know how to explain this, but basically in Glenburna, there are deers. And these deers are like magical deers that serve Kaliach, I think is her name. And these deers serve her, and they bring like souls of people into Glenburna and trap them there. And the way they do that is by gathering people with their spirits, and they become firewood in Glenburna. So basically, the person is passed out here in our like plane, and then over there in Glenburna, they're like firewood. So that's what he's talking about: Mountain Keeper's firewood, and then being trapped in the fissure forever. Basically, they cannot do anything because they're firewood, like literal firewood. It weighs so heavily on my heart. That's why I intend to use every means at my disposal. His pale green eyes slowly shift from the breach in the fissure to you. Able to find any firewood in there. I saw many things that defied description. Strange scenes playing out before me, like the one I showed you. And just in case you were thinking I may have brought this problem upon myself, I don't think what I saw was the cause of the unasked for knowledge I've been receiving. I realize that comes drifting in whether or not I see anything on the forays into the fissure. So basically he walked into the fissure and he's like, wait, don't blame me for having these weird memories. Whether I go in the fissure or not, I still get them. That's what he's saying. It took me a while to come to the realization myself, actually. So the reason I want to venture into Glenburna with you is to display the most tangible sign of what has been welling up within me. This phantom knowledge has intermingled with my own experience and expertise to evolve into something I could never have imagined. Celtic lore is out there. Celtic lore as spoken by Koreans. So I'm not sure if everything is super accurate, but I'm in. As I studied this strange power, it struck me that it might have some connection to the research of the Arcana Association with whom I've been working. And since you're one of the association's founding members, I figured it might be helpful to show you. For demonstrations like this, though, I thought it might be best to find a quiet place, far from prying eyes. The fewer distractions, the less likely I am to actually slip up. So I know this is a rather sudden request, but would you venture in with me? With you as the guide, you'll pass unnoticed by the being who confronted you last time. Oh, with me as your guide. That I guarantee. I swear it with all that I am. Okay, so basically he's saying, come in, we're gonna fight the deers and stuff, but we won't face Kaliach. I wonder if that's how you actually say her name. Well, I have to look it up when I see it again, because I don't think I have it. I don't think I have the spelling, but I'm pretty sure I thought it was Kaliach. Quietly await your answer. Not in agreement. I might die. Like, this is a high possibility I might die in here, because I'm not actually strong enough to run Glenburna by myself. As you slowly nod, Loy smiles faintly. Thank you. I fully intend to uphold the promise we made that day, when you chose to place your trust in me. He withdraws something from his bag and scatters it on the ground. The members of the research team stationed at Silamis don't seem to have noticed. Alright, follow me, then you'll see. Follow, 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 but the truth is hard to follow, follow me. Probably not all the names are a struggle to say, right. I'm just curious. And I can't wait till we get voice acting on more characters, because it will just be so funny. Oh, that is a rather unfamiliar sensation. Huh? Is that you? Who are you? It's me, Loy. Oh, I'm Loy, and that's Loy. So this is me in Loy's body, and I have no idea whose body this is. It's all very strange to see myself as in a mirror and know that it's me, but at the same time, not me. That would be freaky. It's unsettling enough. But this goes even beyond that, an experience that defies easy understanding. This is the first time I've experienced anything like this. But perhaps that's actually for the best. In this case, I think, given our present circumstances, I can offer a better account of the changes that have been welling up within me. In fact, I mean to show you more than tell. So this must be the part when we unlock Alchemic Sharpshooter. Ever since the memories and knowledge I've spoken of before, begins seeping into my mind, I began to feel as though I've had another self, are like two threads being wound upon a single spindle. The places in my own recollections that have been lost or forgotten are slowly being filled in with those of another. Two sets of memories, two different lives are being woven into one. It's an Arcana thing, so you'll be fine. Lish, maybe? Oh, okay, yeah. So we'll call Loy the real Loy, and the other Loy, Lish. I know I said it before, but it's really difficult to put it all into words. Perhaps an easier way to explain it is that in some way, my skill within that bow and my other self's experiences studying alchemy became intertwined. It's as though parts of two different timelines, two different potentials are being merged into one. I feel like this is probably the best written Arcana there is. I know he's using extremely flowery language, but the other Arcanas are basically like, okay, meet this person, and then you meet them, and then they're like, wait, this is why I need to be in the Arcana Association. And they're like, okay, let's see if you should really be in the Arcana Association. And then we get the little training montage, or the skill check thing. But this one is kind of different. You know what I mean? Like, we already knew who Loy was. And then we met Loy out here. And then there's like a whole like different thing. And there's like even like, what is this, like a crisis with Loy? And he was like, this is not urgent. This is urgent. I can't believe he was like, this is a personal matter. No, this is urgent, sir. But I like how this is written. All my life, I've been a mountain keeper, and in that time, I've become a fairly good shot with a bow. However, at no point did I ever have the opportunity to study alchemy. Be that as it may, I now possess a considerable knowledge of alchemical concepts and the ability to skillfully apply that knowledge. I think that is the only one I don't like, maybe Sacred Guard. Eoler's is patient test trying, but they all are the same way, basically. You know, like, oh, they come to the Arcana Association. We learn from, we hear their story a little bit. But, like, this is deeper, because we already knew Loy before. So they're skipping a lot of the stuff that we learned the first time we met Loy. But everyone else is kind of like a new character specifically for this. So I feel like they have to divide time with, like, the lore and the knowledge of that person and their skill, which is fine. But I like that Loy is a character that we already know, and we know who he is, and then we get, like, a different perspective and a different crisis. Personally. Hi, Brony! Because everybody else, like, even Rowan. Like, Rowan had I think before... Like, Rowan was kind of good, but, like, this is different. Like, this is a different level. Best one was Elemental Knight. I disagree. I strongly disagree with that. Like, Elemental Knight and Harmonic Saint, as much as I love Harmonic Saint, it was kind of irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care that much. Like, for, what's his name? Enoakid? It was basically like, this is why I shouldn't be in the Arcana Association, but who's my mom? Basically. That's what it was. Oh, she was a famous singer, basically. And then she healed people through music, basically. And then now I can heal people and stuff. You know, like, that was one thing. And then Koena's was basically like, like, Elemental Knight was like, I'm not like most girls, I guess. I don't know how to say it. Like, it was like she didn't fit in and she had more power than the average person. And she was like fancy, I guess, like, and they tried to like change her a bit. And then Rowan is kind of like that, but they added that she's half former, so it kind of added a little bit more drama. You know what I mean? Like there was some drama, like she was trying to hide who she is, but also like prove herself with her grandma, prove herself to her grandma. True. I think we like it for different reasons, Dime. I think you want more hands-on experience, and I don't really care about the experience. I want the story, personally. Like the skills and stuff. So I think we have different standards. Neither is better than the other. It's just different. And hello, legends! Welcome in! The Dark Diviner questline has a lot of holes that could have been easily solved. I'm curious, what did you notice? I didn't notice anything myself, but I might have just like glanced through it. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't focusing too much on it. It seems as though there was wisdom attained by the other me, who devoted his days to the study of alchemy, has come to dwell within the me who spent most of his life among the mountains. But anyway, that's not the point here. The reason I wanted to show you this strange power is because of your affliction with the Arcana Association. Affiliation with the Arcana Association. The focus of the association's research seems to have a great deal of overlap with what has manifested in me. And if this power is indeed something you can use, I thought it might prove helpful. Since the ability appears to draw on dualistic roots, I figured only someone capable of using two talents simultaneously could understand it. The ones at EK are so disconnected from the art of learning Arcana. I wonder if that's the reason why. You know, because we had the experience of learning Arcana, so they're just building up on that for the other Arcanas, assuming that you're going to do EK first. Because I remember when I did Harmonic Saint, I was Harmonic Saint first. So I went Harmonic Saint, then Elemental Knight, but I realized that the order you should have gone in was Elemental Knight, then Harmonic Saint, because you cannot tell me that without an Arcana, that part wasn't hard for Harmonic Saint. Because I was doing that one quest where you had to like fight those people, but it was so difficult. I could tell you were supposed to have Elemental Knight by then. So I went out of order. She was also always mentioning the curse of the Dorsha and how it seemed to be an issue for her with no idea how to solve it, in front of the character who figured out how to control it and knows people with that condition. True. You're right, Legends. That is true, because we even had that whole thing with... What's her name? Was it Aaron? Aiden? You know, the... Oh, I can't actually open it. But that half former, or half incubus, or whatever, you know, like that former, and half something else. Was it human as well? But she was one of the aces? As for why, I had to come all the way into Glenburna. Well, I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but it's the one place I could think of that is entirely free from prying eyes. That's like, let me go into the most dangerous country in the world, but it's okay because there's nobody watching us here. Okay? The last thing I wanted to do was call attention to myself. Any onlookers, no matter how well-intentioned, would have made it hard for me to explain this power. That's why I needed it to be somewhere no one could see us. It's even mandatory to do the chain/questline for that, so our character knows it for a fact with no room of plausible deniability of not knowing. True! Because we needed to do the Dorsha stuff, right? Because it's chain. It's chain. So you had to have been Grandmaster. You're right, Legend. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. I apologize if I caused any trouble for you, but I wanted to ensure I was able to give you the clearest picture of how these abilities work to provide a good foundation for your own study. Since it may not be a good idea to linger here, let's quickly go over the fundamentals. Though undeniably different, alchemy and archery aren't wholly without overlap. As you may be aware, the skill Crash Shot has its origins in the explosive of an ice mine. That said, even a skill as ingenious as Crush Shot simply utilizes the principle behind ice mines. One can't claim that it draws on the fundamental basis of battle alchemy, that is, the 4 classical elements. They were clearly flying by their seat writing these scenarios. No, but some of these are really good. Some of these are really good. I like it. I just do think it is strange that now that Legend mentioned it, it is kind of strange that we didn't say anything. Especially when we think about like G22 and how we comforted Piran because of what we knew, you know, because of the past. But now, even though that quest is mandatory, even though that quest is mandatory and everybody goes through it, especially to Grandmaster Chain, to be able to get to that arcana, that we just don't mention Erin at all. Like, I don't remember us going to talk to her. We might have, but it wasn't really about that. That her story was more about like grandma and then like balancing the dorsha and then like using it in a good way. Oh, it was taken out of Brave Boost. Interesting. I don't even know because I haven't been doing it because I already finished it. So that means like all of the quests were like checked off as soon as they restarted. So I didn't think about it too much. But this unknown art that took shape in me after all the strange things I experienced draws directly on the 4 elements and their complex web of interactions with one another. Where Crash Shot merely emulates an alchemic reaction, this power harnesses the true essence. In short, these skills draw upon the concentrated energy of the natural world's 4 base elements contained in alchemic crystals. But more than simply that, they also exhibit an added effect when a second element is applied to the first, depending on the combination. So I think what I liked about... So this story builds on the past knowledge we had with, with Loy over here. Like, we already met him. So I think this one builds on that, which is why this one seems more, like, better. It seems better to me than, like, Dark Diviner, who didn't build on that knowledge that we had. Judging by your expression, and I don't hate any of the stories. I think they're nice, but I feel like this one is nice, and it even shows you like this one is better. Judging by your expression, I think it might be faster to simply have you try them out for yourself. If anything, I'd wager you'll be able to grasp these skills more readily than I did. I found that there's no substitute for learning with your hands when it comes to things like this. After all, practice makes perfect, as the saying goes. I've got something in my satchel that should prove helpful for this exercise. You can use it to summon targets to practice on. I realize I'm a far cry from you in terms of power, but you should find my body able to execute the skills without difficulty. Anyway, that's about as far as talking will take you. The rest I think you'll understand when you use these abilities for yourself. Use the Phantom Summoning Crystal in your bag. Choose one of the skill sets, F1 to 4, then press 1 to 4 to select the secondary element and activate the skill. Ooh. Like, I can't necessarily say I'm really happy about doing, like, 1 to 4. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was never really a fan of, like, Instill... What is it? Instill Frost, Instill Fire, Instill Thunder. So what do we do? Why did we have this firewood here? Okay. Phantom Summoning Crystal. That's this. Okay. Use... Okay, there. Hello, world. I like your emote. Oh, it's like a boss. Oh, no. Okay, I see. Choose one of the skills. Okay. What? What am I doing? Choose one of the skill sets, 1 to 4, then press 1. Do I click here? One second, I have like mucus in my mouth. I want to fix that really quick. 1 second. 1 second. They rolled all the instills. Oh, I'm After we learn all the skills, she pretty much returns to her planet. I also got a Meow Mix commercial with a cat puppet imitating instinct. LOL, that's so cute! I love the Meow Mix commercials. Whenever I see them, I get pretty happy because they're just so adorable. Who returns to their planet? I'm working on a second character with a lot of arcana thanks to the event. Surprisingly, my giant's now on par with my human character in total levels, but not the power yet. Fair. Aaron. Oh, yeah, true. I wonder how am I supposed to activate this skill? We select a second element? How do we select a second element? Did we just switch skills? Like when I hit both two keys separately. So if I hit a key, 1 through 4, it activates one. And if I hit a new one, it deactivates the first one and activates the second one. And if I hit them both at the same time, it activates one. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, I don't hate this. This is fine. If you're done training, talk to Loy. Are you done? So basically you hit one of these skills first. And then when this pops up, hit 1 through 4. Not F1 through 4, just 1 through 4. And it triggers another element. Are you done trying them out? Now that I think of it, it seems odd to speak of your abilities like one might a horse or a tool. But in any case, are the underlying principles clear at least? Yes. Lost Father? Why is your name Lost Father? Okay. Okay, so Lish was Loy's dad. Okay. I mean, like, I could have saw that coming. Yeah. I did low-key think it was possible. But still, I don't... okay. I'm glad to hear it. I suppose that means we can head back now. You know, this fellow whose body is presently inhabiting? I could swear I recognize his voice from somewhere. See, still, it seems odd that I'd find this voice familiar without remembering who it is. Perhaps it's someone I knew well, but all the recollections of him were frozen away, like so many of the other memories. I feel like my nose is nasally, because I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I sneezed earlier, and then since I sneezed, my nose has been messed up. It's a shame. He could very well be someone in the same situation as the fellow mountain keepers, spirited away into Glen Berna against their will. It may even be the voice of someone unfortunate soul who was unable to survive winter's chill. Perhaps if I'd found him sooner, I could have saved him. Anyway, shall we be going? We may fool the Winter Queen's eyes for a time, but she'll eventually notice 2 trespassers if we linger here too long. Deep in the mountains, where secrets lay hidden beneath the snow. Okay. Stuffed up nose is a story of my life. Story of my life. Always doomed to fail. Cheated by a fox. swallowed by a whale. That's the story of my life. Oh yeah, that's the story of my life. But yeah, true. I like always seeing people in town. Why are there so many people here now, though? Like, there was not this many people here before. You ridiculed my hat. They said that we were fat. Okay, talk to him at Salamis. So he's here somewhere. I just missed him? Mama. There he is. He's so tall! Like, it's confusing me. Oh no, and when he turns, I turn too. I'm too close to him. He stares at the entrance to Glenburna, lost in thought. Curious. I wonder... It's crazy. He's bothering me! Okay. Curious. I wonder, did this never happen before? Because I always gone in alone. I doubt my body is capable of all of the sorts of physical feats you're able to perform. But what did you think of the skills themselves? The power of the Arcana seems able to imbue the arrowheads with 2 elements, using my body as some sort of... Oh, thank you so much for the heart, I appreciate it! Using my body as some sort of catalyst to induce a reaction. The skills are quite varied, but they all share the common principle. Is he an elf or a giant, maybe? Perhaps? I can't see his ears, so I can't, like, say for sure. I think if he was an elf, we would have seen it, you know? And thank you so much for the, hand heart and heart me. I think maybe he's just, like, 18. I think maybe that's it, and he's just taller. Because Piran is definitely shorter than this guy. So he might be human. He could be giant, like a young giant. But I think he's human. I just think he's tall. Like, he's taller than any other character that I've seen. And the power of Arcana seems able to imbue the arrow... okay. My working theory is that, in a way, somehow similar to how this Arcana fuses 2 elements, there's some sort of ongoing fusion at work within me, melding the time I spent training in archery with the years of my other self spent studying alchemy. And it's that improbable combination that gave rise to these strange abilities. You may be a little reluctant to trust in it, given the perplexing manner in which I received this knowledge, but I can assure you it's nothing to be concerned about. Ever since this began, I've been continuously studying and experimenting in order to put this knowledge to the proof. I have to, in order to establish this understanding as something I verified for myself, before another wave of unlooked-for insights fills my head. Above all, I vowed not to let anything more be taken from me. That's why, given my comfort and familiarity with archery, I've worked hard to unite this knowledge with my bowmanship. I consider that result to be nothing short of miraculous. In a sense, what I developed was a unique art that blended everything I was capable of in order to draw ever closer to achieving my goal. Hello, Uncle! My goal being what it is, the power has taken a rather destructive bent. At times, even oppressive in forces it's capable of unleashing. Still, that sounds like all upsides and downsides for you, right? At least I've been hoping. I don't even know what he was trying to say there. Like, can someone translate that? He grows quiet as he gazes out to the entrance to the wintry fissure. Like 90% of the quest was about Glenburna. Yeah, basically. But I prefer it instead of, look, my name is this person. Like, my name is Rebecca. I have some sort of skill. Let me join the association. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's been what it is. So it's nice and refreshing to not have that pattern here. For us, it was like a completely side thing. Where he's getting a report about Glenburna and Slamis. Lauride. And it happened to be Lauride, and it wasn't about Arcana that they were meeting. Which is fine. It's just, I think it's refreshing to have a different intro. So we get the understanding of Arcana. but in a different way. I don't know if what I'm saying is like making sense or coming out right, but I just appreciate how different that this story is from what we've had before. That reminds me, I have a couple of favors to ask you, mostly to help ensure people's safety. Favors? Could you keep the secret that I gained this knowledge after venturing into Glenverna? It would be one thing if people heard it happen to you, from what I've come to understand, but you lead a rather adventurous life, facing down problems others can't, and anyone who's heard of you likely knows it. They'd probably think something like this is entirely normal for you, although I doubt that's true. The problem is, if people hear that something extraordinary happened to an ordinary fellow like me, some may come to believe that the same sort of thing could happen to them. They'd have no grounds for such belief, of course, but over time, some might attempt to enter Glenverna. Only then would they realize how far and over their heads they were. True. So basically he's saying, don't let anybody, don't say that I have this skill, say that it happened to you. Because everybody believes cool things happen to you. But if they learn that cool things happen to me, they might also try to get those cool things. And let's say someone did happen to gain knowledge in the same way I did. They'd quickly discover it's not a pleasant experience at all. You have to constantly review what you know and reassert your identity while new thoughts and knowledge keep flowing in. My other request is a bit more personal. I'd like to help applying for the membership of the Arcana Association. I'm not asking you to speak on my behalf or pull any strings. I'd just like you to be there with me when I speak with the head of the association. The Arcana Association? Yes, after speaking with you, I'm of the mind that the association's goals are consistent with my own beliefs and aspirations. Lloyd, I like him. I like his personality. He's cool. But beyond that, I can't simply expect to call on you to fend off each and every danger that might loom large before me. Ideally, I'd like to be able to face such challenges head-on myself. Realistically, though, there's so much that's still new to me about so many things that I think I would benefit from hearing about others' experiences. If I can learn, if I can grow, then someday I might be able to save the other mountain keepers. I think a lot of the things I like in a character is in Loy right now. And he wasn't like this the first time we met him. He's really like sweet, he's loyal, he wants to help people. He's not arrogant, he's very humble. He's pretty introverted, you know, I like that. The only problem I have is his eye color, which is green. But it's not terrible. Like, Altum's eyes are green. But his eyes are like green. You know what I mean? Like, they're green, not green. Still not my favorite. I would prefer the frosty blue, but, you know, this is cute too. It feels as though I'm always asking you for some sort of favor, and I like that he doesn't want to take advantage of us, you know? Which I appreciate, which is very similar to Piran, who was like, if you don't stop bullying her, I won't make you cookies. Basically, that's what he said. So cute! But he's like, basically like, I want to be able to, you know, fend for myself. And I can appreciate that. And welcome in Eclipse. And I hope you don't think of me like that, but I want you to know that I have no wish to inconvenience you or to become overly reliant on your willingness to help. Would that be alright? Except, imagine if you said decline. Thank you. You know by now that I prefer such exchanges to be equal, but at this point, I feel as though anything you ask for, I could give wouldn't be enough. I worry that if this is how you are with everyone, some unscrupulous person or group might take advantage of you. Oh, I love you. I love that he's looking out for me. You know, like, that's so sweet. Very similar to Piran, you know? There's not much I could offer you in the immediate future, though. What should I do? How about this? Since there's not much I can do for you right now, how about I provide you a guarantee for the future? It would be a guarantee to lead you to safety through the mountains, anywhere that mountain keepers have a presence. In the absence of other mountain keepers, I've occasionally traveled to other areas of the mountains to look after things there. You know, tending to the shelters, making sure any trails are clear, that sort of thing. That seems like a fair offer, don't you think? And as far as any changing conditions, I couldn't have accounted for. I think the power I've shown you should prove itself great enough worth to balance the scale. I hope that it seems like a worthy offer to you, not an agreement. Wait! Thank you. Then I suppose I'll see you in the Arcana Association room. I'll go ahead and speak with the head of the organization. I should make a tier list of all the characters in Mabi. I was thinking about doing it, but there's so many characters, you know? So I would have to, like, divide it in some sort of way. Like, Advent of the Goddess. And yeah, maybe I should do it by generation, but then that would exclude some people that aren't a part of generations at all. Like Loy. Maybe I could do it by city. Like, Tir Nanog, NPCs. Tir Kanil, NPCs. Something like that. And then have some cities merge together if there's no, like, present person. Right? Good luck, right? There's too many characters. What were they doing? What were they doing? What was I doing? What was I doing? I forgot that technically I'm Explosive Vanguard. Yeah, by cities would work, right? She has the Fleur hat. The Fleur... No, that's not Fleur. It might be? I don't think it is. No, it's not. Ah, there you are. He's given me the general gist of the story, so I have a rough idea of what transpired. Just to run it by you properly, he found himself the holder of a new arcana. It seemed something manifested within him when he was spirited into Glenburnow. He told me not to tell anybody that it was him. What happened? I thought he wanted to keep that a secret. But okay, it's fine. Whatever. During your adventure there. Okay, so he messed up the timing. Like, he obscured the timing a little bit. And it sounds like you were able to use the abilities yourself there, without even having formally encountered an arcana that would grant such a power. Not an agreement. Do I have that right? We're straight up lying to Laorire. I feel kind of bad because, as you know, I like Laorire too. So, like, ugh. Do I have that right? You're playing Pikmin 4? Hey! Wait, how did your other run go? How did your Pikmin 1 run go? Did it go well? Was there any difficulty? Was there any, like, funny moment? You were here at the very moment we lit the flame of the enkindling lector, so I have no cause to doubt you. Crazy. And I have certainly never heard of any skills like those he described to me. Still, I can't shake the feeling that there's a cloud hanging over Loy. I plan to pry into it a bit more. But I don't imagine it'll be easy. It seems nothing involving Glenburna ever is. He's so crazy. Laorina is like, you know, we're serious about this. So I am. Who are you again? Laorina turns his gaze to Loy. The mountain keeper seems taken aback, quietly reorienting himself to stand behind you. Oh, that's funny. That aside, since Loy has been working with the investigation team in Salamis for some time now, his records of service serves as a sort of affirmation of his trustworthiness. You may not realize it, since you're basically free to come and go as you please, but anyone whose identity is in the least bit suspicious wouldn't be allowed into the castle. Now, Loy, if you'd be so kind as to continue. Well, as Salamis' only mountain keeper, it's my responsibility to protect the area, ensure the safe passage of those who choose to venture there, as has been my duty. But once you join the Arcana Association, you'll be expected to focus some of your time and energy on the Arcana-related research and training, which is a natural exception, of course. Still, as you said, you are Salamis' only mountain keeper. And we can't simply leave such a perilous area without its caretaker indefinitely. There are other measures we can take, but I think you'll be best suited for the job. In fact, that's why I put in my recommendation for you to accompany the research team. I worry this might be too much for you, Loy, but what do you think about traveling back and forth between your commitments? That is, venturing from Salamis to join us here part-time, then spending the rest of your time there. Of course, you'd be free to attend any urgent matters at your discretion. Oh, I figured that I have to stay in the association work, but that seems reasonable. That he was willing to give up everything. He was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna be an Arcana person. And then he's like, oh wait, okay, so I don't have to give up my life? That's great. Huh? So I could go home more often too? Grandmaster would probably like that. But on the other hand, it's so warm and cozy here. I've started to think of the Arcana Association as home. Ugh, what a pain. We have no desire to force you to do anything you don't wish to. Of course, I just can't help but feel like the frequent treks all the way from Tara up to the mountain would be tiring, even for you. We're still researching if there might be some way to quickly reach Salamis from here. At the present, taking the Moongate near Terkanel or Shishinahat would seem to be the quickest route. Scheduling aside, I want you to know that you'll have the liberty to spend as much time in Salamis as you like, as long as it wouldn't directly interfere with your commitments to the Arcana Association. Which is funny, because what's his name? Matthias over here? Matthias. His name is Matthias. Matthias was here mandatory 4 days a week. But now they're just saying, Loy, you can come and go whenever you want. That's kind of funny. Like, scheduling aside, I want you to know that you have the liberty. Okay. As long as it. Okay. That seems agreeable enough to me. It's not as though ascending or descending the mountains is all that difficult. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in action, Loy, and to all the things we learn together. I'll write to the research team in Salamis to let them know of our joint arrangement. Then, without further ado, allow me to formally welcome you to the Arcana Association, Loy. I look forward to working with you. Hello, Loy. It takes me a while to start recognizing a new face. Same! So apologies in advance. If I don't remember you for the next week we meet, I promise I'll try not to throw shade. Honest. That's kind of funny. Even took me a long time before I remembered that Laurire was Laurire. Well, I don't think it was that long. You stopped pausing and asking, who are you again? By at least the 3rd week. I think you hunched over your desk all the time in the association room helped. Besides, how could I forget the face of someone who feeds me? True. Right, I'm looking forward to working with you. Loy has joined the association. Together you can delve deeper into the Alchemic Sharpshooter Arcana talent, of which he has proved a paragon. Matthias is currently my favorite associate. Mine is Loy. I'm sorry, like, he's become instantly my favorite. And I didn't even like Loy that much before this. Like, he's been a character here. He has been here. But I feel like this story did a lot for Loy. It showed us a little bit more of his character and his personality, and I love that. Before, Rowan was kind of my favorite, but still, she wasn't, like, my favorite. I definitely like her aesthetic, though. There was definitely stuff I liked about her, but it just didn't, like, Loy is better. Not better, but, like, I like him more. Like, he's more my style. Just my style. Blood red lipstick, you don't smile. Falling victim to your fantasy. Wow, I love it that you're so creepy. Okay, so I don't actually know anybody who's playing Mabi right now. Like, I don't know them personally, though. I guess I will put up a poll. Oh my gosh, why is my Twitch not working? Oh, I have to reset it. Creepy girls, they're just my style. I like her outfit and hair, absolutely. She's a pretty character, and I like generally her story. I guess one thing that throws me off about her is how much she loves meat. It always throws me off when a character likes meat so much. You know, like, that's their, like, personality. Not their personality, but it's a big part of their personality. Like, I need meat! Which, no, not my favorite personality trait. Why is my, like, internet freezing? Like, what's happening here? I think Chrome is just being cray-cray. So I guess I'll do a poll here. Unrecognized, you don't know the term? Let me try mod view. Like somebody else's, like it's literally playing someone else's video on my page. It's confusing. It's kind of funny because that's not me. Oh, but now I tried to take a screenshot and it changed. Okay, so I'm gonna do a poll over here. And then I'm gonna do... So who should we rate out to? Somebody playing Mabi? I don't know who North is personally. Or do you want to rate out to somebody I know personally, Stabby, who's playing Pokemon, I think Sword and Shield. I'm actually leaning towards doing Agent North just because I haven't met him before. So, unless somebody has a preference, we will do Agent North. Just because it also is Mabi. So to keep like genres the same. Okay, I typed it right. But thank you so much for coming, everyone. I hope you liked the story as much as I did. I actually really liked the Alchemic Sharpshooter story. And Lloyd's outfit is pretty fit, to be honest. I mean, pre-fire. Wait. Is he always going to be standing there, like, right in the middle of the association room? I have to check. Let me try to leave and then come back. Because he might just be there because of... It just needs some time to reset. Is he just always going to be right there? That's a really weird position. They should put him, like, sitting down over here. Like, how Enoakin is sitting over here. I wonder if I need to shut down the game and then bring it back and see what that is. But yes, thank you so much for coming, everyone. Have a good night or morning. See you guys next time. Stay sweet. Love you guys. Bye. 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 Don't wanna